What's up guys, it's BT here and welcome to Grip Styles Explain, where I go over the 3 main grip styles and all other variations and give you guys some pros and cons lists on each one of them. Now the main ones are palm, claw, and fingertip grip, and I actually use all 3 when I'm doing a review so I can give you guys some accurate feedback on each mouse. And in doing so, over the past few months, I've really come to see the pros and cons of each. So I've kind of compiled a pros and cons list for you guys to see, should you change from your current grip style? Are you already using the best one for you? I also want to make this video because I know a lot of you guys out there don't even know what grip style you are, so I wanted to make this to kind of clarify this, so when you do watch one of my reviews, you actually know what grip style you are and what grip style I'm actually talking about during the review. Alright, so let's start off with our first grip style, the palm grip. Now, like the name implies, you're going to be laying your entire palm on top of the mouse with very minimal space between the mouse and your hand. There's also the 1-3-1 grip, which you guys have seen me mention before. That is when you have your thumb on one side, your pinky on the other, and 3 on top. Now the added bonus with this is that you get easy access to your scroll wheel with your middle finger. So for you scroll jumpers out there, this is perfect. So with the palm grip, you're going to be using mostly your bigger muscle groups. So you'll be using your wrist, doing the waving motion. You'll be using most of your arm and your shoulder. Those are going to be the 2 groups that do most of the heavy lifting with your palm grip. So the benefits of a palm grip is that it's comfortable and it gives you a lot of stability, especially when doing flick shots from getting from A to B. It's very easy to do it in a straight line. There's not going to be any shake to your shot there. Also for tracking, it can be very smooth, but I find when enemies are really good at ADSing or they're moving back and forth and I try to keep up with them, I kind of lose track of them, so it's not the best for that. So another con of palm grip that I found that can be easily fixed, I guess, is that when you have your entire hand on top of the mouse, it kind of pushes into your mouse pad. So if you have like a soft artisan, or if you have like a QCK, if you have a GSR, one of these like slower soft pads that really have a lot of cushion in it, your hand tends to push in to the mouse pad, and I found that I became very inconsistent when doing that. And I found one way to really combat that is actually having a relaxed claw grip where you don't have the weight of your full palm on top of the mouse. You kind of like raise your fingers up, and that kind of alleviates some of the stress on the mouse and pushing it down into the mouse pad. But you can get like a glide pad, like a Shidenkai, a Glide 38. I remember when I was using the Skull and the Glide 38, it's a perfect match because no matter how hard you press, it's not going to be pressed into the mouse mat. It's going to just glide on top. So next up, we're going to talk about fingertip grip. Now, on one spectrum, we have the stability of one. Next up, we have the fingertip grip, which is on the opposite end of the spectrum. Now, with this grip, like it says, it's going to be just your fingertips on the mouse. Now, there's 2 different ways to do the fingertip grip. Now, you can do one where your fingers stay straight and you keep that straightness, but then I kind of feel like it's like palm and you lose kind of that fingertip dexterity. The one that I really like using is the fingertip grip that you can kind of curl your fingers and kind of adjust the mouse with your fingers and move it all around. That's the one that I like, and the one that I think is most beneficial for fingertip grip. So the benefit of fingertip grip is that you get the dexterity. So I find that tracking is really easy with this because you can quickly adjust and fine tune to people. No matter how good they ADS, you will be tracking like a god and you're going to be accused of having aimbot. So with the fingertip grip, I find that you can use any type of sensitivity that you want from low to high. I personally think that low is the best though, because it takes a little bit of that shakiness out of your shot, but then you also get to keep that dexterity within your fingers as well. So for fingertip grip, the cons are you kind of lose the ability to hit those side buttons, because if you do, your shot is going to be thrown off. So that's one benefit that the palm and the claw grip have over it. Also, your fingers can get tired over time. It's just going to happen. Also, I find that at the maximum point of your pivot, you're going to lose some dexterity with your thumb and with your pinky. I mean, you could even try right now. Let's say you hold your mouse and you go right here. You're going to feel tightness right here in your thumb and right here on your pinky. Now, that also tended to affect my shot, and I found that like during my tracking, if people would go too far to one side, I would be thrown off and my shot would become too shaky. But as long as I stayed within the comfort zone, the best zone where there's no tightness on either side of your hand, I was good to go. Also with fingertip grip, I find that it's kind of weak at flicking. Because your hand is kind of loosely on the mouse, I find that going from point A to point B really fast, is really, really hard. And I found that I would always be off. I would always be slightly off with my flicks. It definitely makes you a god at tracking, but your flicks will definitely suffer. So one thing that I want to mention before we leave fingertip grip, and one thing that I feel like is a huge benefit to it, is that you get that verticality with it. So you get that added movement of this. So if you're playing a game like Fortnite, Apex, Overwatch, where there's a lot of people flying at you from different directions, you have that added verticality here. So that's definitely something to maybe look into if you are playing one of those games and you feel like people are just hopping on you and you can't do anything about it. Maybe check out fingertip grip. Alright guys, so we've saved the best mouse grip style for last. I might be a little bit biased because it's the one that I always come back to because I feel like it offers the best of both worlds. Let me show you guys why. So with the claw grip, what you're going to do is you're going to put your palm into the back side of the mouse. You're going to grasp the sides with your thumb and your pinky, and then you're going to arch your fingers, your pointer and your middle finger, and they're going to point down at the mouse 1 and 2, giving you like a claw spider looking thing there, like so. Now there's a few different variations of this where people will do like a relaxed claw, which I feel like is just a relaxed palm in my opinion. I think you get the most benefit of a claw when your fingers are kind of arched like this. So the benefit of that is that you not only have your dexterity with your wrist, your arm, your shoulder, you also have it with your fingertips. Because they are so arched, you can roll the mouse on the fingertips. You see that? Like if you're relaxed, it's a little bit harder. So that's why I don't consider it. When I think of claw, I think of this because your mouse can come off your palm. So you get that stability here when flicking. And then with tracking, you have that extra dexterity using your fingers because they are already in this position. You see that? See, are you guys catching on to why I think this is the best? You can use it with a low to high sensitivity. Doesn't really matter. I've seen all different type of people use it. One famous person that really made claw grip really famous is Shroud. He uses the claw grip as well. Also, another benefit of using the claw grip is I feel like when you're pressing down on the mouse 1 and 2 with your pointed fingers, I feel like it's way more responsive. Like it's way more quicker than having your fingers flat. I feel like you have to use more of your finger to press down, whereas when it's like you're pointed at when you're already pointed down, you're already ready to press. So one con of claw grip is that it can cause hand strain. Now, depending on how much you're arching your fingers, if you're like a very aggressive claw people, I've seen people like all the way back here on their mouse, this can cause you some discomfort and hand strain over time. And also it's gonna cause some strain in your wrist because everything is so tight. So I like to strike a nice balance between the two and not so relaxed, not so aggressive. I like to find usually like in the middle of the button. That seems to be the sweet spot for me and a lot of other people to not get that hand strain, but you also get the benefits of using the claw grip. Alright guys, that's going to do it for mouse grips explained. I've just detailed my experience with each grip style. Again, at the end of the day, do what works best for you. If you're already owning with a certain mouse grip, by all means, keep on owning, please. But if you feel like your grip style isn't the most optimal, I hope that this can point you in the right direction. Or in the future, if I do recommend something, you guys can just refer back to this video and see what I'm talking about. Alright guys, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.